I know for a fact it was Poseidon. Like, I know Poseidon has the relationship with the Minotaur. Or is the one who created it. And was also involved in its destruction with via Theseus or whatever, with something. All the Olympians are assholes. There's no such thing as a good Olympian. There's just ones that are less bad. But even that's, like, a pretty low bar. Hestia, I'm sure there's something there. All the Olympians got dirt.
Hit the spot. It's one of their layers.
Dude, that was the thing for me. Was that Disney was like, oh, we want Mulan to be like less fantastical, and then they made it like way more stupid and less historical than the cartoon. The cartoon was way more historical. Because in the cartoon, it's like, she doesn't use ki. Like, I cannot believe they had her use ki in that movie. Like, I watched a review and I'm like, they have to be mistaken. Like, I thought the whole point was that the movie was supposed to be, like, realistic. Nope. They just wanted to pander to China, because that's all a lot of businesses give a shit now. They just want that sweet, sweet Chinese market money. No matter what it takes.
Let's just go down this Sata hole.
Hysterical, not historical? Oh, that makes sense. I can see where I...
Time to mess with my weapon.
Oh, okay. We actually got point-blank shot. That's really good. 150% bonus damage to nearby foes. And we got Blast Wave. Nice. That thing's always a really spooky toss-up, but we actually got pretty lucky with it. I think the biggest thing that got me was like the original point of the cartoon Mulan, and I believe like the actual myth, at least in my opinion, or the historical story, is that like she was a woman who, despite all of like the challenges that she was gonna face, you know, she rose above, and like she went through all this hard stuff, but ended up coming out on top because of her like perseverance and her unwillingness to give up and all this stuff. And the cartoon does a beautiful job of demonstrating that. Plus, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Shan Yu is one of the best Disney villains ever. Shan Yu is one of the best villains Disney has ever created. He's easily one of my favorites. Shan Yu was amazing.
Sack of meal for you, boy.
But in the movie, the whole point of the movie is that Mulan is literally superhuman. Like, she has all this amazing, powerful ki, and the whole idea of the movie is that she has to hide her power. So she doesn't have to earn anything. The whole point of the movie is that, nope, she was born with amazing powers, but she's supposed to hide them because girls aren't supposed to have it. So she spends the movie, like, hiding her potential, but she doesn't train or get stronger or anything. She just kind of reaches a point where one of the other characters is like, you should stop hiding your powers and like just show them how overpowered you are. And she's like, okay. And that's it. Oh no, I'm not, dude. I didn't see the movie, but I watched like an in-depth review on it, and I was like, you have to be kidding me. Mulan is Clark Kent? No, she's worse than... So, Kiro, imagine if Superman was born knowing all of his powers and having all of his powers. but he hides them until somebody's just like, oh hey, you should stop hiding them. And so he like doesn't get a secret disguise or anything. He's just like, oh okay, I'm gonna try now. That's Mulan. With the hey Apocalypse, how you doing, man? With the Ever-Chosen coming up, do I think we'll see a teaser for the Wood Elves? All I'm gonna say is that in the past, when we do Ever-Chosens, either we do it where there's no DLC really even close, or we do it showing off the new the DLC. So that's been the prior history with it. This is really the first Ever-Chosen that I'm not involved with in any capacity. So, you know, I can't give you like any, I don't know any insider information, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you anyway. But I would say that there is one of two things is either going to happen. Either they're going to not have anything with the DLC, or they're going to be playing the DLC. I highly doubt they're going to be teasing it, though. They're not going to tease it. Either they're going to be using it, or they're just not going to have anything to do with it. It's going to be one or the other. Are there any Wood Elves in AOS? Yeah. I mean, they're not like the Wood Elves from Fantasy. They're kind of different. But there are two. They've been kind of split into two factions. You have the Wanderers, which the Wanderers are just the old school Wood Elves without any forest spirits. So like just the elves. And then you have the Sylvanet, which is really like just the forest spirits. But they've had like a bunch of new forest spirits added to their roster.
Palm power.
Palm power. I would say that I would go with the Sylvanet, though. If you're like, man, I really want to play Wood Elves, but in Age of Sigmar, check out the Sylvanet. They're basically the Wood Elves. Oh yeah, there's also the Karnathi, but we don't really know where the Karnathi are going. Did they have a falling out? They did. However, things have smoothed over recently.
Should stock up for the road ahead.
That being said, I think they're allies, so you can like kind of take them together. But they had a falling out because when the Age of Chaos happened and the Realm of Life was under attack by Nurgle, and Alarielle basically called all of her allies to help, the Wanderers, who are like the old school pure Wood Elves, instead of going to help, they ran away. Like they fled. And so Alarielle got super pissed at them and she banished them. But during the Age of Sigmar, the Realm Gate Wars, some of the Wanderers came back and basically like did everything they could to fight side by side with Alarielle. So some of them have been forgiven and are welcomed back. That being said, they don't share a roster. But I would not be surprised to see that be changing in 3rd edition, because we're getting close to 3rd edition, and I imagine in 3rd edition either the Sylvaneth are going to be expanded to include the Karnathi, or the Wanderers are going to be expanded to include the Karnathi. It's going to be one or the other. And whoever gets the Karnathi is going to be like it's going to be a very big Wood Elf descendant, because they are much more like the Wood Elves than the Sylvaneth are, in my opinion. The Karnathi are actually really, really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be. Well, sorry. So when I say, like, I don't think they would replace the Wanderers and that the Wanderers are going to go away. I think the Wanderers are here to stay. The models for the Wanderers are here to stay. If they're gonna put the Karnathi and the Wanderers together, that I could totally see happening. But I think they would literally be putting them together, not like getting rid of the Wanderers and putting just the Karnathi. I think the Karnathi have a very, very likely chance to be fused with them, though. We could go for True Shot. Nah, let's do clean kill.
On the prowl.
Our crits are even crittier. Yeah, so Age of Sigmar did kind of something silly where, so Kurnos is dead, like, and gone forever. Kurnos is forever gone. But there's a new, Alariel has a new boyfriend who is Kurnoth with TH. Chips ahoy! Have a good one, my dude.
Chat with Cerberus.
Thanks so much for being here.
Where to?
It's good to see you.
Should check this way.
Like, it's unfortunately one of those kind of really stupid naming conventions. Because Kurnoth seems to basically just be Kurnos in, like, everything but name. Like, he's a hunting god. He's associated with, like, stags and, like, hunts. And he, from what I can tell, he kind of, like, acts like Kurnos. And he can die and come back from the dead. Tomb Kings got ganked. Tomb Kings are gone forever. Well, from what we can tell. Ooh, hello. From what we can tell, Tomb Kings are gone forever. However, they do kind of have a spiritual successor, which is, as Kiro says, the Osiarch Bone Reapers. Like, if you're someone that like you're like, man, I really like I really like the Tomb Kings, and I want to get involved in AOS. Who would be the best faction for me? It would be the Osiarch Bone Reapers. The Osiarch Bone Reapers are basically the Tomb Kings, but instead of having, like, chariot legions, they have heavy cav on, like, these really badass skeletal steeds. And instead of having, I mean, they still have constructs, they still have catapults, though their catapults are way bigger. And basically their version of Cetra was like, being on a chariot is dumb. I'd rather, like, he's more of a general than Cetra was. You know, Cetra was kind of more of like a, Cetra was more of like a supreme warrior who also was a very, very skilled general. Whereas the new guy, who's kind of new Cetra, is a incredibly skilled tactician, first and foremost, but also a very, very scary fighter. Yeah, and they work for Nagash now, instead of Cadian. They did fight him for a long time. Like, the guy who's basically the new Cetra, he fought Cetra, he fought Nagash for a very long time. But it basically got to the point where, like, Nagash, who was already, like, you know, who's a god in this universe, Nagash's armies could not beat this new Cetra. His name's, oh gosh, what is he? I'm drawing a blank. Catacross. So Catacross was like a badass. It still is. But Catacross was this massive badass who, like, he was so good, he was so strong, and such a brilliant tactician that when Nagash decided to, like, take over his underworld, he was like, yeah, no. And Nagash's armies just got the shit kicked out of them. Like, the legions of Nagash could not beat him at all. He was basically unstoppable. And he just kept holding them off and holding them off and holding them off. And finally, Nagash himself was like, Jesus, what is going on out there? What is taking so long? So he, like, ran out there, or Nagash himself had to take to the battlefield. And Catacross held him off for a little while and then was like, okay, I can't beat this guy. So Catacross basically walked up to Nagash and was like, hey, I've been beating the absolute shit out of your armies. Like, I have been blasting you all this time. But, like, I don't think I can beat you personally. So I think that all of my badassery prior to this point should basically be my resume. Also, here are my thoughts on tactics and, like, how I like to handle situations and how I think your legions and armies could be improved. You should hire me. And Nagash at first was like, bitch. And then Nagash actually, like, looked at his stuff and was like, oh shit, dude. Like, oh. So Nagash hires him.
Cerberus moves for no one, but for...
But Catacross is actually a really big deal of a character.
See you, boy.
Catacross is, when it comes to like pure tankiness, Catacross is probably the tankiest character in Age of Sigmar by like miles. Because the crazy thing about Catacross is he can't die. Like Sigmar the god, who is the strongest guy in Warhammer Fantasy, literally in his angriest rage war form, ran up to Catacross, fought him, and killed him. Like, Sigmar used Galmaraz and hit Catacross as hard as he could, and he destroyed his body, but Catacross's spirit, nope. Sigmar hit him, nothing. Hit him, nothing. Hit him, nothing. Sigmar could not destroy him. Same thing with Archaon. Archaon can't destroy Catacross. Sigmar can't destroy Catacross. Like, his spirit is literally, like, just immortal. Like, he's stupid tanky. Archaon managed to give Catacross, like, a light case of heartburn. Archaon used everything he had and went all in on Catacross and, like, caused him, like, minor arthritis. And Catacross, like, Archaon managed to beat Catacross in their fight, riding on Dorgar. But, like, dude, Catacross, Archaon won the battle, but Catacross won the war.
You're never late, father.
Archaon did not come out good in that situation.
Already here? Seems our underworld still has many failings I shall have to deal with after this.
Cities of Sigmar should be split into War Dancers and Kurnothi, Dispossessed, Grugni, and Rune Golems, Darkling Covens and Scourge Privateers, Free Guild, Ironworld Arsenal, Collegiate, Arcanum, and the Flagellants. I mean, that's basically what they are. The Cities of Sigmar is literally, they took like 1,000 minor factions and just slapped them all into one book. And it was... The big thing about Cities of Sigmar, beyond like making it a lot simpler, was they also basically cut out a ton of models. They got rid of basically everything they weren't going to use anymore. Like, they got rid of it. Like, it seems like the High Elves / Lumineth are not a dragon faction anymore. So they got rid of all the dragons. They got rid of most of the High Elf range when they released the free cities. They got rid of a couple of war machines, like the more exotic ones, like the I think they kept the more exotic ones, but they got rid of like the cannon. It was a book that was well received, but it hurt a lot of hearts because it got rid of a ton of models. I heard his spirit was fused with the forest. I'm not sure. I don't have any of the Auric books, so I'm not sure what the deal was with Grimgor. To my knowledge, the only thing about Grimgor that we really have is that the new Grimgor, who's I like him a lot better, because he's got a lot more nuance to him. He's not as funny, I will say, but he's better. Gordrak, supposedly Gordrak has twin axes, and supposedly his axes are Gitsnik, but it's been split, so he has two axes instead of just one big one. Supposedly. I can't verify that because I don't have those books. Alright, Dad.
What?
God, I hate when I get stuck. It's really frustrating.
Zacharias, I trust you had a pleasant journey here.
It's always pleasant in the underworld.
Really gotta watch out for that.
Ares! It seems you need all of the help that you can get. Darkness.
This build is actually working surprisingly well in this fight. Like, you can just kind of hit him with a lot. It's raining fog! It's raining fog!
Oh, you. I'm empty.
Now.
Ares, behold the violence.
Darkness. That was relatively painless.
You can't kill.
Oh, bull. Bull, I dodged that.
No more.
Ha!
You
Boom!
Ares, suffer and die.
die already.
Grenade! Boom!
You. Again, you have defeated me somehow. And yet, you win, boy.
Hooray! Wow, that was way easier once I knew what I was doing with that thing.
By my father's name.
Yeah, that's definitely a bow where you just kind of have to go all in on the big boy attack. And also mind your distance.
The never
Y'all ready?
Zagreus, then,
It's time for the epilogue. Y'all ready?
fell off a precipice or
We've talked to
something,
every god.
plunging him into the rapids of the Styx.
Here we go. Here we go.
Please, everybody, hold your applause.
All right, Sons of Athena. Sons of Athena, come back in like 10 minutes.
Hello! See you next time you die, okay?
Mother.
Zagreus.
All right. Okay, let's check in with everybody else real quick.
How is he anyway, if you've encountered him of late during your journeys, lad? The fallen warrior you've run into in Elysium, that is.
He's doing relatively well, I think. There's a lot you've told me that he didn't know. About what led up to his present circumstances and your own.
You told him then? Without requesting my consent to tell him first? What exactly did you say to him?
Achilles, I'm sorry. I just told him about your ashes being intermingled, that whole thing, and about the pact. You told me once to send him your love and regards. This brought him no joy, only questions. You told me not to speak to father, not to him.
You're right, I should have specified. Or shouldn't have. Because what you said probably is for the best. I didn't mean to lose my temper with you, lad. It's just... Look, thank you for looking out for him. For both of us. Just please be careful.
I swear I will.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Dusa, something I was wondering, and it's just curiosity, mind you, but is there somebody else? I mean, somebody special whom you're close with or would like to be? Romantically, I mean, if it's all right to ask.
Zagreus, what the hell, dude?
Oh, you can ask me anything. But, somebody else romantically. Not really, no. It's not really my thing. It doesn't mean I don't have feelings for you, though. You know that, right? I wouldn't drop what I'm doing and throw myself at danger for just anyone, you know?
Is Dusa asexual?
I definitely know. There's 7 kinds of love or so, isn't that right? It isn't something that's taught extensively down here, though, so there's still a lot for me to learn, I guess.
Or aromantic? One of those?
Wow, I never thought of it as love until you said it there just now, Prince. But you're right. I love you, Zagreus. That feels good to come right out and say, you know? Okay, well, bye.
I love you too, Dusa.
Oh. Oh. Cause of death, dehydration. He died because he was thirsty? Did y'all catch that? He said, I'd do anything for just a look of Aphrodite, and he died because he was thirsty. He died of dehydration. Damn, Supergiant calling that guy out. Rude. Rude.
Here, you can have these.
Where's
Chef.
Deuce's body? The way she died is she got her head
Much
chopped
obliged.
off. Presumably by, what's-his-face? Perseus. So, she doesn't have a body.
I'll have the gemstones. Hey, not bad, head chef.
Oh, we can finish, we can complete our quest for Meg.
Hey, Meg, you're off duty, aren't you? Look, I was just hoping you might want to split this with me. Best if I could find out there, and I would give it all to you. It's just, maybe you wouldn't mind some company. From me.
You sound a little tongue-tied, Zagreus. Just like you always used to around me.
You're not exactly easy to approach, you know. So, how about it then? Care for a drink with me?
Open it up and we can go from there. You should have seen the look on your face. You act a lot more confidently now. Though, I think deep down you're still that inexperienced little godling that you used to be.
Oh my god, she's actually smiling.
And I think deep down you're not the heartless harbinger of retribution that you want for everyone to think you are. But I can keep your secret if you're willing to keep mine. What do you say?
That sounds an awful lot like blackmail, Zagreus. You'd stoop to that with me?
No, I was just... That's not what I meant at all.
I just want to see you squirm. Thanks for the company and for the drink. Guess I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, thanks.
Bond forged! Nice. Oh, I love all these things I'm ticking off.
You and my son. It pleases me to see the two of you have grown so close of late. Thanatos has always led a solitary life. He never would complain of it, and yet, I know he yearned for closeness in his way.
Thank you, Nyx. I think we each have harbored feelings for each other for some time. We've finally been true about them.
Then in this, you each achieved what you desired. I ask that you take care of my dear son. I often fear that he shall work himself too hard.
I almost expected her to say
He's all right.
expected to work him to
Though I'll
death,
be sure
himself
to
to
keep an eye on
death.
him.
Then very well.
I guess that wouldn't really make sense, seeing as he is death, but you know what I mean.
Prophecy fulfilled.
Bow done.
I can't afford any of this. Approved. Oh
Exalted
god, so am
hero.
I becoming hopelessly obsessed with Theseus?
Oh wait, we get it. We have a picture of Theseus, but presumably when he was alive. I am not having a picture of Theseus as my main thing. Thank you very much.
Let's say we change things up again, alright?
Yeah, that's definitely Ariadne then. Oh, we get a picture of Cerberus? Oh, dude. Saving up for that. Alright. Oh, wait. Talk to the dog.
Cerberus looks...
Pet.
You've always been there for me, boy.
Pet! Alright, chat. Here we go.
It's done, Mother. Father, the invitations. Personally sent to everyone with whom I've been in contact. So what do we do now?
Excellent, Zagreus. Congratulate him, Hades. On a job well done.
Persephone, how can you be so certain your request was executed to your satisfaction?
Dude, Hades is so harsh. I love it.
It's known as trust, Hades. Or faith. They're similar. Try one sometime. It'll be good for you. As for what we do next, why, we've a great big feast we must prepare.
This house is not a suitable location for such guests. Dionysus alone shall bring ruin to this place. Or... the faith thing that you said.
Yes, good. Now then, we have a lot of work to go around. So why don't we call everyone on staff and let them in on this, and dole out suitable responsibilities, all right?
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thus did all of Olympus journey deep into the underworld, all together for the very first time.
Oh shit, dude.
The Queen Persephone revealed herself in all her splendor, much to their surprise, and told them everything she indicated to her son. She eloped with Grim Lord Hades, she said, mothering a fire-stepping prince who sought to reconnect with his extended family. Hades and Persephone at first refused his wish, but so moved were they by his relentless struggles to the surface that at last they decided to heed their willful Zagreus and reach out, for his and everybody's sake. The Olympians listened to all this in stunned silence. Then Zeus himself began to laugh. "Welcome back into the family," he said. After the shock subsided, the festivities began.
I say, big brother, you and your better half put on a positively smashing night. It's a relief for all of us, knowing Persephone is safe and sound. And mother to as noble of a son as my good nephew there.
Dude, look at this!
Well, little brother, the Queen and I, in turn, appreciate you all taking time out of your doubtless busy lives to come all this distance to my house. I'm certain it is very modest in comparison to Mount Olympus, but I trust that you were suitably entertained.
Yeah, you can see the relation.
Oh, of course, Hades. Now then, farewell, and let us keep in better touch from here. Farewell indeed, Lord Zeus.
I want to see every god.
When finally the great feast ended, all the Olympians returned to their mountain abode, fully satisfied. As for the house of Hades, it required thorough cleansing, from the rafters to the floor.
Ah, dang, they're only going to show us
Such
Zeus.
revelry, of course, is unbecoming of the name of Hades, and the fearsome reputation of the underworld. For if mortals were to have no fear of death, then they would have no fear of anything at all. A well-kept family secret, then, this would live on to be.
Family reunited.
Whew. I'd say that went about as well as could have been expected. And the cleanup wasn't all that bad. For the most part.
I think the only thing that disappoints me is I was really hoping we were going to get to have a scene where all of the gods were going to be like this kind of model, where we were going to get to like walk around the room and see them all in their 3D models and stuff.
Well, fortunate Uncle Zeus seemed to catch on right away and went along with it. But this whole elaborate tale you spun, I remember how hurt I felt when I found out Father lied to me about you. Now we're lying to Olympus. What if they find out? Even if they don't, I don't like it.
Zagreus, I may not be an expert, but here's what I've come to understand about how families work. At least our own. The thing is, how we speak to one another is even more important than the words we use. I think, deep down, everyone in our family knows this.
You're saying they all knew you weren't being perfectly honest and went along with it anyway. I guess the pomegranate thing in particular was a bit of a stretch.
The common ground in our family is that we want peace. Besides Ares, though even he would rather the conflict occur elsewhere. That elaborate tale, it's less a deception and more a concession. A way of saying, let's move on from the past and start anew. No hard feelings.
You don't have hard feelings? What about Father? What about Demeter?
Well, let's see. My hard feelings are nothing next to the joy of having my son in my life. Your father never imagined his relationship with me could be out in the open. And my mother. She's just glad I'm alive.
Hopefully Demeter will stop destroying the Earth now.
And Uncle Zeus is glad things didn't turn out worse for him. I get the sense he acts a bit impulsively at times and deals with the consequences later.
What can I tell you, Zagreus? We're family. You said it yourself to me before. We're stuck with one another. That any of us like each other in the slightest. It's a wonder and a blessing, I think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Mother. Think I'll be heading out again soon. See you when I get back.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Yay! We did it. I haven't got the achievement yet, so I guess we're not quite done yet.
The stalwart casks of wine within the House of Hades now are almost entirely devoid of content, having bravely stood against the combined thirst of the Olympians during a certain feast.
They fought bravely, but Lord Dionysus was too strong.
Oh, rip. F in chat for the wine. Go check the garden? Okay.
Still can't get over our gift from the Olympians.
Whoa!
It's glorious.
Look at that!
A majestic gilded edifice of Mount Olympus, crafted with the utmost care from the true mountain stone, now shines forever brightly, even in the dim light of the House of Hades, as a parting gift from the Lord Master's kin.
The handiwork of Lord Hephaestus himself. Sounds like he's been rather busy.
Dude, we finally hear about Hephaestus.
A little slice of Olympus.
That's the first time in the entire game they've name-dropped him. Good grief.
I'm back, room.
There we go. One for the ages. I just got
This
the Steam
one's for
achievement.
you, Three Fates.
20?
We're one big happy family. No issues whatsoever.
Something like that. Wow. Wow. Good grief, dudes. We're not done yet. There's still a lot to do in the game. But, I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. What do y'all think? I mean, we still have things to do. We still have a couple duos to unlock that we need to start aiming towards. We still got to do 2 spear upgrades. And then we got to start messing with all of these different challenge things. What a day, dude. Oh, Skelly actually has something new to say.
You must have had yourself a real bash with all those fancy gods and stuff. Could hear all the festivity from all the way out here. How was it, pal?
It went better than expected, all in all. I hope you didn't feel left out. It was a pretty limited guest list. Kind of a diplomatic mission, I would say. Not quite as good a time as it might have sounded from the outside.
Oh, don't you even worry about me there, pal. I much prefer the solitary life. And besides, when things are good for you, they're good for me. Glad everything worked out.
Same here.
Okay, do we ever find out who hired Skelemius? Is that what, like, the 32 heat statue is gonna reveal? Like, who hired him or something?
Baratha hungers.
Like, what is the deal there? Yes, you do find out eventually. Okay, that's all I need to know. I think we'll do an aspect of Hades run tomorrow. Well of Charon, because it's the last one we have. And I can actually upgrade these.
Feedy, you're all set. Here you go. Upgraded. Shady, you're all set.
I don't want to use too much. I want to save enough so that we can, like, knock out all these characters we still have to go. I need 1, 2 plus, 3, 4 plus, 5 plus. Okay, so we probably need about 10. So we'll save the rest. But Shady is maxed. Who is this last one? Oh, it's probably Achilles. It's Achilles. Is this a story-based game or is it a roguelike? It's both. It is both. The story is told as you progress through the various runs. So, like, that's kind of how it synergizes really, really well, despite being a roguelike. Is like, even if you die, it's not a big deal. If you die, you're just learning more and more of the story. Like, funny enough, I actually kind of ran into an issue where I kind of progressed through the game too quickly. So some of the dialogue about, like, really basic stuff, some of the dialogue about, like, really simple things or things that happened a really long time ago, I didn't get until really late in my playthrough, because I got through a lot of major story beats, so those took priority. So I'm still occasionally getting, like, really funny comments from some of the characters because they hadn't said that dialogue to me yet, which I find pretty funny. I can't remember if I took one of these pills. I think I did. Alright, dudes. Whew. I'm tired. I'm going to get some rest. It's a big day. Oh, wait. Well, I'll do that off stream. I'm going to go rest, and I might spend a little bit of time editing some videos for my VOD channel, so y'all have more of my Hades runs to watch on there. But I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much to you all for being here. I really, really appreciate it, especially those of you who stuck it through the entire stream. Major bonus to you. And thanks to everyone for subs and bits and stuff today. We got a lot of really generous support tonight. So I'll see you guys next time. And until then, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, all that stuff, and have a great night, guys.